श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So welcome. So today we will discuss on a very important topic, that is the topic of the rarity of this human form of life. We have all become human beings with human bodies, and just when we look around we see there are so many human beings around the world, in different countries, different languages, different cultural background. So sometimes we may think it's a very easy thing to be a human being. We may even lose value for the gift that we have received out of just familiarity, because our parents, our family, our relatives, our society, our friends, everybody is a human being. There are over 7 billion human beings, just world population. So we may think it's a very easy thing to attain. It's a simple thing. And sometimes when miracles happen one after another, we don't even consider them to be miracles. So today, on the basis of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is Bhagavat Mahapuran, the last work of Vyasadeva, we will see some interesting verses which highlight how important it is to recognize the importance of the human form and how rare it is to be a human being. So I want to present a verse here. I hope everyone's able to see. This is Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 9, Text 29. It's a very, very important verse. So I will chant this verse. लब्ध्वा सुदुर्लभमिदं बहुसम्भवान्ते मानुष्यमर्थदमनित्यमपीह धीरः तूर्णं यतेत न पतेतनुमृत्यु यावन् निःश्रेयसाय विषयः खलु सर्वतः स्यात्. Translation. After many, many births and deaths, one achieves the rare human form of life, which, although temporary, affords one the opportunity to attain the highest perfection. Thus, a sober human being should quickly endeavor for the ultimate perfection of life, as long as his body, which is always subject to death, has not fallen down and died. After all, sense gratification is available even in the most abominable species of life, whereas Krishna consciousness is possible only for a human being. So let's see these different words. It's very nice words. Labdhva. Labdhva means having obtained. Labha dhatu in Sanskrit, like labhate, labhante ityadi, to attain, labh, prapt karna, to attain something. So labdhva means having obtained. Having obtained what? Sudurlabham idam. Idam means this human form, this human body. We have obtained this, and how is it? Sudurlabham. Labha or labha means to attain. Durlabha means difficult to obtain. Sudurlabha means very difficult to obtain. So we have obtained something which is very difficult to obtain. And when does one become a human being? Bahu sambhavante, at the end of many bodies. So we become trees, we become birds, we become insects, we become animals, we become reptiles, we become aquatics, we become different types of species, and then we become a human being. In the Padma Puran, there is a clear um, distinction and explanation on how many different species are found. The Padma Puran says, Jalajanava Lakshani Sthavara Laksha Vimshati. It means, first of all, the soul, it gets Jalaja Navalakshani, goes through 9 lakh different types of aquatics. Just like fishes, starfishes, whales, crocodiles, sharks, dolphins, all these are aquatics. And there are 9 lakh different types of them. We're not talking about the population, we're talking about the categories. So Jalaja Navalakshani, there are 9 lakh aquatics. So we first go through 9 lakh different aquatics. And Sthavara Laksha Vimshati. Sthavara means trees. And how many different types of trees? Laksha Vimshati, 20 lakh different types of trees. So we first go through 9 lakh different types of water bodies, aquatics, or bodies in water, and then 20 lakh different types of trees. Hmm? So 9 lakh and 20 lakh makes it 29 lakh. Then it is described, we go through 11 lakh different types of insects. 11 lakh different types of insects. We only know a few. We know cockroaches, we know lizards, we know ants, right? But there are 11 lakh different types. So 9 lakh aquatics, 20 lakh trees, that makes it 29 lakh. Another 11 lakh, that's insects, makes it 40 lakh. Then there's 10 lakh birds, makes it 50 lakh. And there are 30 lakh different types of animals, that makes it 80 lakhs. And the last 4 lakh human population. Not population as such, the count, but the categories of human beings on the basis of their intelligence and consciousness. So in total, there are 84 lakh or 8.4 million species. And human form is only the zero point 0.4 million on the top. 8 million are other species. So let's quickly review. 11 lakh different types of, 11 lakh is 1.1 million. So 1.1 million types of aquatics, and 2 million Sthavara Lakshavimshati types of trees, another 9 lakh different types of aquatics, that's zero point 0.9 million, and then 2 million trees, 20 lakh, another 11 lakh insects, that's 1.1 million, and then you find birds and animals, and all put together comes to 8 million or 80 lakh, and then the 4 lakh or zero point 0.4 million is human species. So it is very, very difficult and very rare to attain. Back to the verse. So at the end of becoming all of these different birds and animals and trees and insects, we get idam, this human body, which is sudurlabham, very difficult to obtain. Very difficult. And this manushyam, it is called, we are called manushya because we are considered to be descendants of Manu. Those who are descendants of Manu are called Manushyas or Manushya or Manava. Those who are descendants of Danu are called Danava. Those who are descendants of Manu are called Manava. Like that. So having obtained something that's very difficult, obtained after many, many lifetimes, we have got this human form. What is so special about this human form, this human body? Arthadam. Artha means God, ultimate meaning to life. And the means to give. This human body gives us the chance by which we can attain God, which no other species can. What is rare about Jatayu as a vulture? What is rare about Jambavan as a bear? What is rare about Hanuman as a monkey? What is rare about Garuda as an eagle? What is rare about the Surabhi cows as cows? What is rare about all of these species is although they were animals, like Gajendra as an elephant, Anantashesh as a snake. What's rare is although they are animals, still they have so much bhakti in their heart that they could attain God. It is rare even for human beings to attain God, but that opportunity is available. Only human beings with their tongue can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Only Vishnu, only human beings can chant the names of Vishnu. Only human beings can remember Vishnu. Only human beings can hear about Krishna or Ramachandra or Vishnu or Narasimha. So this is called Arthadam. This human form gives the ultimate meaning to life. But what is the problem with this human form? Anityam. Nityam means eternal, long life. And anityam means we don't know when we will die. We don't know how long we have this human body for. Therefore, what should a dhiraha, what should an intelligent person do? He should yateta, he should endeavor, perform bhakti. He should perform bhakti. And when should he start? Turnam, quickly. As soon as you hear this verse, start performing bhakti. Because we don't know when death will come. And it is bhakti alone, nishreyasaya, which gives shreyas. Shreyas means ultimate benefit. Gajendra performed bhakti, Draupadi performed bhakti, Prahlad performed bhakti, Dhruva performed bhakti, Bhishma performed bhakti, Parikshit performed bhakti, Pandavas performed bhakti, the residents of Vrindavan, the Vrajvasis performed bhakti, Uddhava performed bhakti, Sudama performed bhakti. All of these great souls performed bhakti, therefore they had darshan of God, Krishna. This is possible. So therefore, Turnam, very quickly start endeavoring. And till when should we endeavor performing bhakti? Na patet. Till the time our body doesn't fall sick and fall down in old age. Anumrityu, to cause death. Till then, perform bhakti. What does performing bhakti mean? Hear about Krishna, read about Krishna, chant about Krishna, sing the glories of Krishna, pray to Krishna, and keep your life Krishna conscious. Keep your life saintly. Now, somebody will say, why not eat good food? Why not enjoy life? Why not have very big family? Why not sleep for 12 hours? Let me enjoy. What is the problem? Sunday afternoon, why should I attend this Zoom program? Let me just sleep on a couch. Yes, that option is also there. This verse says, but that option of Vishaya means eating good food, sleeping a lot, talking gossip, fighting, hmm, all of these things. Spending time with family is great, but just doing that is not great enough. It is described, all of this is called Vishaya, and Khalu Sarvata Hasyat, that is found everywhere in all species. If you see animals, if you see birds, if you see insects, they also do this. If you see the polar bear, it can sleep and hibernate for much longer than we can. It can eat much more than what we can. If you see animals and birds and insects, they're always eating something, or they're sleeping, or spending time with their family, or fighting. These are four things which are found in all species. Ahara nidra bhayamaithunam cha samanyam pashubhi naranam dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesho dharme nahi na pashubhi samana. To eat good food, to sleep a lot, to enjoy time with friends and family, and to keep fighting and criticizing others. These things are there in all species. Even lions and tigers, they have their own family, but they also fight with others. They also eat and they also sleep. If our life is only revolving around these four things, then we are not performing the duty of a human being. I'll give you a simple example. Let's say somebody becomes a pilot and they have an airplane to fly. Now, all of us who have sat in an airplane, you know the pilot goes around the runway for some time, but then he has to hit mid-air quickly. Imagine for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, the plane is only moving in the runway. The control room will tell the pilot, what are you doing? You should just move around for like 10, 20 minutes and then fly for another 1 or 2 hours, right? What are you doing? 6 hours, you're just moving. And if the pilot says, I am kind of scared to go in the air, I like to just move on the runway. I like to take my flight and just move here. So the control room will say, you do one thing, you give us your pilot license and you take a driver's license and then you drive as much as you want. You can drive in interstate, you can go from one place to another, no problem. Similarly, it happens with the human being. We as the soul, we are the pilot. And our duty is to use this human body to fly and go back to God, to go back to Vaikuntha. That is the purpose of this human body. But if you use this only to do things that animals are doing, that insects are doing, that birds and trees are doing, which means only to move in the runway, only to eat good food, only to sleep for 10, 12 hours a day, only to make friendship with everyone, only to fight and have enmity. If this is the purpose of life, that's like a pilot who is not doing the duty of a pilot, but only doing the duty of a driver. So then the pilot's license is taken away and the driver's license is given, which means the soul loses the human body after death and instead becomes an animal next life. Can we as human beings become animals in our next life? Is it possible? The answer is yes. There have been many scriptural stories where human beings have become animals. Many stories like that. The story of Gajendra. Gajendra was actually a king in his past life. He was a king by the name King Indradyumna. Because of a curse from Agastya Muni, he became an elephant. So similarly, it is possible for us to lose our human body if we don't value it well. Now we will see another beautiful verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. This verse comes from Prahlad Maharaj. We have all heard of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj was a very great devotee. So this is in the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 6, text 1. Therefore you can see Prahlad Uvacha. He spoke. Prahlad Maharaj is speaking to his friends, his dear associates in classmate. And Prahlad Maharaj says, Kaumara acharet prajnyo dharman bhagavatan iha durlabham manusham janma tadapyadruvamarthadam. Prahlad Maharaj is saying, Kaumar acharet prajnaha. Prajnaha means an intelligent person. An intelligent human being should acharet, should practice. What should he practice? Dharma. He should practice dharma. But there are different types of dharma, right? There is jati dharma, there it is tri dharma, kula dharma. So many dharmas are there. Varnashram dharma. What kind of dharma should we practice? Bhagavatan dharma. Bhagavata dharma means the dharma which relates to bhakti towards Bhagavan. This is called Bhagavat dharma. So when should we perform bhakti? Many times people say perform bhakti when you're old. But Prahlad Maharaj says Kaumara. Kaumara comes from the word Kumara, which means childhood. Right from childhood, one should practice bhakti. Why should we practice bhakti right from childhood? Because he says, Durlabham Manusham Janma. Look, so beautiful. The same thing that we discussed, Prahlad Maharaj is saying here, that this human body is very rare achievement. If somebody gets into IIT and gets into IIM and then let's say does a PhD from Harvard in some management subject, you will feel that person's achievements and accomplishments are very rare because he went from IIT to IIM to like the biggest business school in the world. But that is also a possibility. That is easier than the possibility to become a human being. We have all attained this very great gift of being human beings. So therefore, Prahlad Maharaj says, right from childhood, be intelligent and perform bhakti towards Bhagavan because this human form is very rare. And what are the two characteristics of this human body? Adhruvam and Arthadam. The two characteristics of this human body are Arthadam. Artha means Bhagavan, meaning, purpose in life. And Da means to give. This human body gives us the chance by which we can attain God. And at the same time, Adhruvam. Dhruva means eternal, long life. And Adhruva means temporary. Human body is like a bubble, it can break anytime. You can see during the corona pandemic, people died left, right, center at the age of 20, 30, 40. So that is called Adhruvam. We cannot even predict that we have a long life. We can have an accident and leave quickly, or we can have some pneumonia or some breathing disorder, or we can have some respiratory problem, or just an just a problem, cancer. Nowadays, so many things are there. So life is unpredictable. So therefore, anybody who studies Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, they should become very serious that I want to live my life with responsibility. I want to live my life, perform my duties saintly. If I have studies, if I have job duties, if I have household chores, I will do all of them meticulously. I will not waste my time. I will not just sleep on the couch and waste 1, 2, 3, 4 hours just watching something on the TV or browsing something on the phone or just talking and wasting time. We want to be very disciplined in life. We want to utilize this human form to the highest possible achievement. Srila Prabhupada, uh, who wrote the commentary to Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada explains that this human body is like a piece of wood. It's like a piece of wood. And the purpose of wood is so that you can carve the form of Krishna out of it. So Srila Prabhupada says our human body, this life, human life is like a piece of wood. With that wood, don't drench it and make it wet and useless with unnecessary pursuits. Don't set that wood on fire with bad habits, but instead cut out and sculpt and carve a beautiful form of Krishna through your chanting, through your discipline, through your hearing and reading. And always remember Krishna. Now I will show you one last verse for today. This is a very beautiful verse. This comes from the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 3, text 17. The reason why I am screen sharing and showing these verses is for authenticity. I am not making things up. This is not my opinion. I am simply sharing what is the work of Vyasadeva. So Vyasadeva writes, आयुर्हरति वै पुंसाम् उद्यन् अस्तं च यन् असौ तस्यर्थे यत् क्षणो नीत उत्तमश्लोकवार्तया. He explains, our ayu, our life, harati, somebody is stealing our life. Who is stealing our life? Udyan astam. Somebody is stealing our life through Udyan and Astam, through rising and setting. Who is that? Surya Devata, the sun god. With every rising and setting of the sun, one day is gone from our life. So it's almost like Surya Dev, he's having a little straw into the cup of our life. So there's a glass cup, and our life is there inside in the form of a juice. And Surya Dev, with every gulp, he is drinking the essence of our life, and our life is reducing. So every new year means 365 days ripped out of our life. Every birthday means 365 days removed from our life. So Ayuhu Harati, somebody is stealing our life. Who is that? Surya Dev, with his rising and setting. However, there is one person whose life is not stolen. Who is that? Uttama Shloka Vartaya. This is a very interesting term. Uttama means best, Uttam, and Shloka means verses. So this word Uttama Shloka is the name of Krishna, Hari, Ramachandra, Vishnu. Why is he called Uttama Shloka? Because all the best possible shlokas are used for him. So he is Uttama Shloka. Uttama means best, and Shloka means verses. So he for whom all the best verses, shlokas are used is called Uttama Shloka. Or another meaning, the shloka which describes him naturally becomes Uttama. Among all the verses, the verse that describes God is the best verse. Or another meaning, the word ut means to go beyond, and tama means tamas or darkness. The word tama means confusion. The word tama means bewilderment. The word tama means bad habits. And ut means to go beyond. He is called Uttama Shloka because if you chant shlokas glorifying him, then you cross over tama. You cross over bad habits. So it is described varta, vartaya means by describing. You know the word varta means to discuss. By discussing about Krishna, time will not work on such a person. Why? Won't that person grow old? Yes, that person will also grow old. Somebody who is not speaking about Krishna, that person is growing old. And the person who is speaking about Krishna, that person is also growing old. But there is a difference between both of them. One is going towards death, after which there is another birth. But the one who is glorifying Krishna is going towards death, after which there is Vaikuntha. So if you speak about Krishna, read about Krishna, chant about him, then your process to go back to Vaikuntha goes faster. So Surya, by the rising and setting every single day, is bringing the devotee of Krishna closer to Krishna. But someone who's not chanting the names of God, the sun god with the rising and setting is only bringing that living being closer and closer to death. So time is acting on both. But for one, it is bringing one closer to death, and for the other, it is bringing one closer to Vaikuntha. I will conclude with one example. Just like you can see the mouth of a cat. In the mouth of the cat, sometimes the cat will hold a rat. The mother cat sometimes holds a rat in the mouth, and that is death for the rat. But with the same mouth, the cat is always also sometimes holding a kitten. But for that kitten, that same mouth is the place of comfort. So the mouth of the cat, which is death for the rat, is also the place of comfort for its own kitten. So this is how we understand. Death may be, for those who are not performing bhakti, it may be end of everything. It's like the death for the rat in the mouth of the cat. But for devotees of Sri Krishna, that same death, that same mouth is like protection. Vishnu himself comes and takes his devotees back to Vaikuntha. So therefore it is described, Vatadi yadi doshena madbhaktam mam nachasmaret aham smarami madbhakto nayami paramam gatim. That when we are sincerely performing bhakti all our life, at the time of death, Krishna himself comes and takes the devotee back to Vaikuntha, back to Goloka Vrindavan, the eternal abode. And this is the perfection of the human body. Please remember, many times in fortune telling or tarot card reading, you may see that a lady may have a little cage, and then she may open the cage, and in the cage there may be a bird. And when the cage door is opened, the bird will come out and pick a little tarot card, give it to the predictor, the astrologer, and go back into the cage. Now, if you see, that bird can actually fly away. The door of the cage is wide open, the bird comes out, the bird can actually fly away. But somehow the bird turns its way and goes back into that same cage. And that's what we are doing with our human body. We, as the soul, we have the door wide open now from the cage of this world because we have gotten this human body. We should perform bhakti and fly away into the sky of Vaikuntha. But what are we doing? We are performing bad habits, we are performing bad actions and bad intentions and bad culture and bad character, bad responses. And that's like turning back and getting into the cage of karma, of repeated cycle of birth and death again and again. So therefore, the concluding remark and request for all of us, that Vyasadeva is begging all of us, Prahlad Maharaj is begging all of us, Srila Prabhupada and so many great acharyas are blessing and begging all of us, is to take our human form very seriously, not waste time, and perform the best activity of bhakti as quickly as possible for as long as we are alive. So thank you very much. I will pause here.